Whenever y'all ready.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I finally pulled out all my duck meat from the freezer. I think over the course of this past season, I think I totaled up around like 55 to 60 ducks. I saved all the breasts. They're just kind of like loaded up. I already weighed it. I think it came out to just under 6 pounds. So today we're going to be grinding it up with our handy dandy grinder here. And we are going to try to make some smoked snack sticks. So stay tuned. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching, and I'll try to record kind of every step of the way and see how they turn out. Let's see. All right, so first off, we are going to start by weighing out all of our meat. I'm gonna probably try to go for like a 60-40 mix, possibly 70-30, just to kind of maybe get a little bit more taste. I don't know. The whole point is just kind of like stretching it out so I can have a little bit more. So here's our scale. We got our bowl. I want to see how much pork we got first. We are working with about 6 pounds. So that'll be good, because I want to say last time I measured the duck, we were right under 6 pounds, I think. And all this duck meat still has a little bit of ice, a little bit of blood, and everything else in it. So we are at, as you can see, it's all in the bowl. We are at 5 pounds, 14 ounces. So too short of maybe like a 50-50 mixture. So I'll probably end up just doing, probably 6 pounds of duck and 4 pounds of pork, and then the rest I'll just make some like pork sticks. Probably try to like experiment with some of the seasonings. I do make some candied jalapenos as well, and have a lot of like the candied like jam or juice, whatever left over. So I may try to mix that in just to kind of have like a sweet and spicy stick. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get this sectioned out, weighed, and then we can get to grinding. All right, so a lot of this duck meat is still pretty frozen, which is okay because I don't think the grinder will have any issues going through it. So I'm just gonna start by weighing out, try to break it up a little bit. I guess we'll do 3 pounds first. We'll make a couple batches, that way we can make some different flavors. I don't know if I'll be able to break that one. Like it wants to. There we go. So that's about 1.5 pounds. Maybe 2 pounds. 2 1/4. I didn't do anything with this meat. Like I didn't try to soak it or anything. That's a block of ice. It's 214. So you can find a small piece. And 3-1. Good enough for me. Now that we got that, I'm trying to do 2 pounds of pork. We're at 3. And this is just cut up pork butt that we did from some deer sausage that we had made. It's 4. 410, 411, 5. Perfect. So that'll be weighed out for the first batch. I'll go ahead and start grinding that. We'll see what happens. Alright, so I'm going to hit it with a little bit of cooking spray. And this is just kind of like help the meat from not sticking on the, what do you call it? The metal here. I got the biggest blade in. That's tightened down. And we're just going to give it a shot, see how it goes. Oh, it would help if I plugged it in. Alright, now let's see how it goes. I'm just going to mention now, I'm not going to keep it recording for all 6 pounds of this. So I'm just going to fast forward until I finish, and then I'll show you how I season it. So here we go. All right, that is 5 pounds. This is half the batch. I already ran it through like the biggest, I guess like coarse grind. So now I'm gonna put it on the medium grind, I guess. Feed that through a couple times just to get it as fine as possible. So here we go. All right, there are magically 2 bowls now because I just went ahead and knocked out the other batch because that way I wouldn't have to keep changing out the grind size, I guess, whatever they're called, as much. So like I said, here's the medium blade, I guess. Not the biggest, we just finished with the biggest, not the smallest, that's up next. So I'm gonna run all this through both batches and then I guess we'll get to seasoning. So stay tuned, it's gonna be a lot of grinding. I'm trying to get it as fine as possible and we'll see what it looks like. So since I figured I'm going through the trouble of trying to record everything anyways, I was just gonna show you the difference between kind of like the very coarse ground, medium coarse ground grind. So let's see. So as you can see, this is like the biggest coarse grind. It's still probably big enough for like taco meat. It's still pretty chunky. Some of it's still kind of stringy. And this is with the, as you can kind of maybe see, this is with the medium. It's definitely now kind of like typical, I guess, getting closer to that like mush phase. This is more like your ground beef from the store. As you can see, there's still quite a bit of kind of like the chunks of fat in it and everything. And so I will go ahead and make another video with the finest grind blade and just to kind of show you the difference. All right, here we are back. This is with the smallest blade. As you can see, it really basically just mushed it up. Super fine. You can still see a lot of the fat in there, but it's definitely like very easy to blend in. I think I definitely like this the best. It's going to be able to probably evenly season everything as much as possible. I don't know, it's still pretty wet, so I think it'll kind of absorb my seasonings. And then this was the medium, so you can definitely tell bigger chunks. Still kind of mushy, but definitely bigger chunks of fat and everything. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go with this super fine, I guess like the smallest blade. So yeah, we'll see. I'm going to finish up this batch, then we can get to seasoning. We are finally done grinding and seasoning. I ended up with about 12 pounds with 6 duck, 6 pork. So I did a 70-30. And divided that between 3, so I've got 3 different batches, 3 pounds each. I've got a Cajun, I've got like the just Fiesta jerky seasoning, basically like Uncle Chris's, salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. And then, and this one, like I said, I do a candied jalapenos with like apple cider vinegar, sugar, and brown sugar, and like boil it all down. So I used a lot of that like syrup, juice, whatever you want to call it, with some of the candied jalapenos, ran that through the grinders to get it all mixed up super fine. Surprisingly, you can't really even see any of the jalapenos or anything now, but you can definitely tell like how sweet it is. And then I had 3 pounds of just pork left over, so I'm going to do kind of just like sweet teriyaki, stick with it, see what happens. Like I said, this is the first time I'm ever making snack sticks. I've done plenty of jerky before. So this is kind of all new to me. When I think of jerky, I just think like cracked pepper, teriyaki, or something like that. For whatever reason, every time my brain goes to like snack stick, I think of like Slim Jim, which I'm not a fan of, but I know it's kind of like, I've had venison sticks and those are a lot better. I just can't ever remember how to get it seasoned, and since I'm cheap, I didn't buy any kind of like seasoning packet or anything like that. So trial by error, see what happens. It's all gonna get made. It'll all either be eaten or given away to friends, family. I'm still waiting on Amazon to hopefully get my jerky gun here soon and my casings. Like I said, I could stuff it with the with the grinder here, but I still don't have my casings. So they should be on the way. Let's hope I can keep each batch separated and remember what to what. That way I can do a final kind of like taste test at the end. So we'll see. Whenever my casings and Amazon get here, then we can start casing them up. So thanks for watching. We'll see what happens. Amazon finally got here. Finally got our jerky gun. Some like Amazon special, like I said, it was like 24, 27 bucks. It did come with, give me one sec, and I will grab all the nozzles. So these are the casings, just the LEM, 19 millimeter. They were on sale on Amazon as well. I think it's the first time I've ever used these. And this is just some Smokio whatever, stuffer. It comes with all these tips, a Gigantor cleaning brush, even more tips. I guess you can kind of like push it through manually. I'm not really quite sure. I didn't read the directions because I usually don't, and just more brushes. So, set that over here. I think I'm going to start with maybe the Cajun seasoning, just so if anything does stick, Cajun can still kind of mesh with any of the other flavors. So I'm going to try to see how this works. Just drop it in here. No. I think this is gonna have to go like this. It looks like it's kind of universal, so I guess that's nice if you need to flip it around for anything. Start by, maybe that little plunger thing is just to help kind of get the air out for now. May have to end up needing it. So I'm just gonna stuff it. I think it said this is a 2-pound thing, so should be able to get almost all of it except, like, you know, like the last pound. I wanted to try it with the grinder as well, but I feel like only being able to feed just a tiny little bit at a time was going to cause a lot of air bubbles and everything else. So that's why I'm going with the gun, which I could just be shoving more air bubbles in it as well. But I guess we'll see. I'm going to try to grab that little plunger. And try to pack and see where we're at. You can kind of hear it getting pressed to the end. I kind of want to push all the air out, that way I can almost prime it as best as I can and get the most amount of meat in. So hopefully I only have to reload this basically one time for this batch. But yeah, if you have any suggestions of how I should do this later on, feel free to drop it in the comments, because like I said, this is the first time I've done snack sticks. Not really sure what I'm doing besides just what I've seen on YouTube. I'm gonna try to rinse my hand real quick, I was gonna give it a shot of cooking spray, but I completely forgot about that. Rinse that off. I did already size the casings to this nozzle. So at least I do know that maybe not. There we go. Alright, that's tight, that's tight. Now I'm just going to kind of thread the casing on here. Maybe. These are pretty long, so I might just kind of start off trimming it to begin with. We'll just go there. That seems like a good spot. And now, because of like all the ridges on the inside, I can't just slide the tube down the center of the, what do you call it? Of the casing. So that's why I have to kind of pull it all back manually, which will probably get annoying after a while. I should have tried to measure to see about how much that was, but we're just gonna call that good right there. I'm gonna snip that off and put my casings back over here. I already did some like vacuum bags. That's my bigger nozzle. And then I just have a pan here of just kind of like what I can catch. It's got like a little bit of water on it just to kind of keep it slick. And now we'll just start squeezing and pull out a little bit just to get it started. So thankfully there's not really any resistance. It just kind of pushes out on its own. Kind of went a little too hard on that one. And I'll leave it in for a sec. And there we go. So I'd say that was probably half of that tube. So I'm just gonna basically keep doing that just to kind of save time on y'all. And then I'll get with you at the end once I case everything. All right, it is the following morning. Ended up staying up pretty late last night just trying to deal with the smoker, trying to make sure how much smoke they were getting and kind of bumping up the temperature. I did about 3 hours at about 120 with smoke, and then I slowly just kind of started adding more wood chunks and charcoal to it, and it ended up getting it up to about 185, 190, and left it there for about an hour. I have a 3-tier smoker, so I did get a little lazy and didn't alternate the trays, so my very bottom rack did get a little crispy, and I did end up losing probably almost a third of the snack sticks, but everything did turn out. I will drop the picture right here. And then I just kind of cut everything up into, you know, like packageable sizes. And then I was able to thankfully get a vacuum sealer and was able to just kind of vacuum seal everything into like these little just, I don't know, kind of like snack sizes, I guess. Like I said, I did end up mixing up all the batches, so you can't really tell what is what, but they all just kind of taste anything between like a regular jalapeno stick. They are on the drier side. I'm not too sure if that's just because I should have added more pork or if I just dried it a little bit too long. But I'll just attach some other pictures that I kind of like took along the way. Thanks for watching. If this helps, if not, then drop in the comments what you would do differently. And thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Later.